Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about 3 plant-based YouTubers who have influenced me on my plant-based / vegan journey in the last 10 or 12 years. My name is Susan. I'm in my 60s and I've been plant-based over 10 years, and it's not always easy. And sometimes we need a little bit of inspiration. So I thought I would talk about some people, women, who have influenced me over the years. So let's get into this video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Please like and subscribe. It will really help me grow my channel. So let's get into this topic. The first one that I wanted to talk about is Ellen Fisher, and she used to be Mango Island Momma way back when. She lives on Maui and she is plant-based. When I first started watching her, she had just 1 young son, and now she has 5 kids, 5 small children, and she has lived on Maui for, I don't know, over probably 12 years. And I actually met her when I moved to Maui. I had started watching her before I even moved, and it turned out that she lived right behind me where I lived on Maui. And I got to meet her and spend a little bit of time with her, and she was so inspiring and instrumental in my vegan journey. She started out raw, and I'm not even sure those original videos are up from that many years ago still, but she then transitioned over to just a whole food plant-based diet, and all of her 5 children are also whole food plant-based. Her husband is also, and she shows a lot of cooking videos, what she eats in a day and her daily life. She actually is not posting videos as much anymore. She switched over more to podcasting, but her videos are still there. So I definitely recommend her. She has ebooks that are wonderful, and she can just be very inspiring, and she has some great recipes and really delicious food that she cooks for her family. She also shows a little bit of Maui life, which is fun, and where she goes and eats on Maui, when she eats out, and that kind of thing. So I highly recommend Ellen Fisher on YouTube. She's also on Instagram, and she's, like I said, very inspirational. The next person I wanted to talk about is High Carb Hannah. And High Carb Hannah used to live in Arizona. She and her husband built a house in Arizona. They lived in a tiny house for a while, and then they built a house, a bigger house. So you see that transition and that evolution of them living in a tiny house for several years to moving into a big, beautiful house. And then they sold that house, and now they live in the tropics. I think it possibly could also be Hawaii, but I'm not sure. She doesn't really talk about where they moved to. But she also is very inspiring. She has kind of more of a weight loss journey on her channel, and she's starch-based. She talks about being starch-based and whole food plant-based, very healthy. She's lost 70 pounds and very inspiring, lots of great ideas, lots of great recipes and that kind of thing. She also lives with her husband, who is also plant-based. And more recently, they've been talking about their fertility journey. So if that's something that you're interested in, she's also talking about her fertility and what she's doing to help with that challenge. So I would highly recommend High Carb Hannah, who also is on YouTube, Instagram, and I also think she's on TikTok. So the next person that I wanted to talk about is Plantiful Kiki, and she is someone that I probably only in the last few years started watching. She also has a weight loss journey that she has gone through, so that was kind of the focus of her channel. and she lives in Colorado. She lives in the mountains, so lots of beautiful scenery. She is also whole food plant-based. She talks about the influence of Dr. McDougall and the 50-50 plate, which I have talked about in a prior video, starch-based. She more recently has started eating raw sometimes, I think during the day, and then she eats cooked meals at night for her health. But she also shows a lot of recipes. She has ebooks, and I think also paper books that she sells in bookstores. So you can also get her cookbooks either online or in stores. She's very inspiring. Her kids are also plant-based, so it's interesting. She talks a little bit about how that transition from not being plant-based to even switching her kids' diets to plant-based, so that was interesting. I know some people struggle with, when they go plant-based, getting their kids to switch over to being plant-based also. So that might interest some people. So those are 3 YouTubers that I think are very inspiring. One last one I'll throw in there is Jane and Ann Esselstyn. And I've talked about them in the past. I showed you one of their cookbooks. They have several cookbooks, very inspiring. It's an older woman and then her elderly mother. And they do cooking videos on YouTube. They're also on Instagram. They also do retreats, and they're just very active in the plant-based space and very inspiring, lots of great recipes. So those actually are 4 whole food plant-based YouTubers and influencers on Instagram that I recommend. And I also just want to say, if you're struggling with sticking with a whole food plant-based diet, watching YouTube videos and other people who do a lot of cooking videos and give you ideas is really helpful. It was for me, so I highly recommend that. And if you are new to my channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It will really help me grow my channel. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thanks a lot.